Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
That's a pleasant surprise to see you guys. I'm waiting to see Radhikir at Hare.
I have a big poster in my car.
But you're not living out here yet.
No. Just visiting.
Just visiting. Where's our go? No. Where's Govardhan? Go and hold on to these. Well, thank you all for coming. You could be doing many things. Watching Bollywood movies or cricket or whatever's on cable. And you came for some Krishna Katha. So that's to your credit. It is a most wonderful thing and mystical thing. People say, "Can you show me God?" What is our schedule? Do we have a clock anywhere? Up till midnight? No. 8:10. And when do we have a clock anywhere? Yeah, you have a clock, but I don't have a clock. Give me your watch. No, I'm joking. I'll give it back. But do we have it'd be good if we had a little watch with a dial that I could see. Because I don't want to go on too long. No, my eyes are not so good. I can't see that microwave. Yeah, but we need something that doesn't go on and off, on and off. Oh, that is perfect. Where'd you get that? Well, that'll do the job. That's perfect. Okay. Thank you. So, people say, "Show me God." And Prabhupada would answer in different ways. Sometimes he would say, you have to have the eyes to see. You know, if you have a speck in your eye, you can't see anything. You remove the speck, you can see. So we have false ego and pride and envy and so many things. We can't see Krishna. Sometimes Prabhupada would answer. They would say, show me God. Can you see God? And Prabhupada said, that's not the right question. The mystic power of God is all around us. The question is, why can't you see God? You know, those who have the eyes to see, they say Krishna everywhere. Krishna is sustaining all the planets. Anyway, there's so many examples. Sometimes they would say, one time Prabhupada was in London, and he was speaking at Bhaktivedanta Manor. And if any of you have ever been, just stop. Stop all that stuff. Yeah, if everyone's moving around and this and that, they can't concentrate. So just sit. Shanti, sit. Yeah. Give us a few minutes for Krishna. Just sit. So, Prabhupada's at Bhaktivedanta Manor. And it's a long temple room. Prabhupada's Vyasasana is here. Beautiful Radha Gokulananda, the deities are here. And a man stood up in the middle and said to Prabhupada, can you see God? Prabhupada said, yes, but you're standing in the way. Sit down. So for those who have the eyes to see, the mystic power of Krishna is all around us. They try to create a free energy machine or perfect energy machine for creating, you see those wind turbines and solar panels and this and that. Krishna, the sun, shines on the ocean. You know why there's salt in the ocean? It acts as a preservative and it controls the distillation rate. And the sun shines on the ocean and the water evaporates as pure distilled water. And then it's blown any way Krishna wants via the different Vayu is his agent. And then it catches on the mountains and it pours on the mountains. It brings all the minerals, all the nutrients out, and it fertilizes and waters all the fields. And it takes all the waste and it drops it at the bottom of the ocean. And it's a perpetual machine. Anyone here, they have, for the utility company in San Diego, is called SDG&E, San Diego Gas and Electric. And the nickname is San Diego Gouge and Extort. Do you guys ever get utility bills? Do you ever get a utility bill from Surya? Huh? We're all sustained by Surya. So my point is, we could go on and on and on. Prabhupada was peeling a tangerine one time. A nice big tangerine. And he was peeling it. And he stopped and looked at it. And he said, how can they say there's no God? It comes so nicely packaged. And the skin, we'll all die. We'll be buried under plastic. Lives for 30,000 years or who knows how long. But a nice peeling, the protective Krishna's wrapper of a tangerine, it's organic. You can make it into chutney. You can make it into marmalade. You can shred it and put it in halava. You can do so many things, even with the skin. And it'll just biodegrade. And it's individual servings. You can break it into sections. It's got a seed inside, seeds that will make more trees. They make hundreds of tangerines. So we make a plastic flower, no offense, but we make a plastic flower. It doesn't even have a fragrance. It'll be here 30,000 years from now, and it can't make another plant. So, I mean, the mystic, and Krishna makes a tangerine. It's completely biodegradable, fresh, succulent, and it's got the seeds to create hundreds of more flowers. Krishna takes straw, dry straw. You can't eat it. You know, what is straw worth? It's practically useless. You can stuff a mattress with it. Even then, it's scratchy. And you can take straw and give it to a cow, and you get the miracle food, milk. It's just, you try that. Prabhupada said one time, give that to your wife and see, give her a straw and see if she can make nice milk, you know. It's craziness. So my point being that the mystic power of Krishna, of God, is all around us. And this movement is complete. The Hare Krishna movement is under the direction, the direct shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, come again. Radha and Krishna combined. And when you think about it, I don't know anybody who was living here in America in 1965. Any of you guys living here? 65? So most of you weren't even born 65. But I'm telling you, America, if you weren't white, Christian, and even then you couldn't be a Catholic. You had to be a Presbyterian, whatever it is, what do they call them? Protestant. So if you weren't white, Protestant, male, you didn't even exist. And you tell people you're a vegetarian, they go, what do you eat? I mean, they're living on bones and feathers. I mean, what are they eating is the real question, you know. And Prabhupada came and he spoke to the youth of America. Prabhupada said, my dear frustrated youth of America. And he told the long-haired hippies to shave up. He told the morals, dogs run free, so why can't we? He said, no, you're not, because you're not a dog. You know, it's boyfriend, girlfriend, different boyfriend every day. Get married. No intoxication. I saw a t-shirt the other day. It said, instant idiot. No, it said, instant idiot, just add alcohol. And I was thinking, even they know it. What is the root of the word intoxication? Toxic. It's poisonous. It's right there on the label. So, Prabhupada said, stop taking intoxication, shave your head, get married, be a brahmachari. He taught from Bhagavad Gita. They're protesting the war in Vietnam, and he's saying Dharmik Kshetra, Kurukshetra. It's based on a battlefield. I mean, how many things are wrong in this picture? And yet this movement has spread all over the world. So I wanted to give you, and you are living here, Phoenix. You have a nice temple. And something mystical is happening here, which I just found out about. I think it's all right if I say so. You know that your temple president and husband, that they've purchased 5 acres of land, took their life savings, perfect location. They've already submitted the design, the conceptual designs to the city. And they're going to build a beautiful cultural hall and temple and Gurukula restaurant. I mean, it's mystical. It's an oasis, a spiritual and material oasis in the middle of the desert. And devotees are doing wonderful things all over the world. It is mystical. So I wanted to give you, because, sometimes Prabhupada said familiarity breeds contempt. We're in our little group and we find fault with this person, we find fault with that person, and we get to know people and we eat crackers in bed or, whatever our issue is. So it's nice to know that you are part of a worldwide spiritual movement that is doing amazing things. You can travel all over the world. You can go to the top of the Andes, Machu Picchu, what is it? Machu Picchu, whatever it is. We have a restaurant there. There's a Govinda's there. You can go to Cusco. What is it, Cusco? Is the Peruvian, the Incan city? We got a temple there. You can go to the Victoria Falls in Africa. And we have a restaurant there. We have devotees in China. All over the place. The first initiated devotee, Tamal Krishnamaj told me this. It was tough. It was tough in the beginning in China. And he was thinking, what do we do? Will we ever be able to break this place open? He was visited by a top college student in Beijing, but he visited him in Hong Kong. Hong Kong was under the British in those days, so it was an open city. And Tamal was thinking, will I ever be able to spread Krishna consciousness in this country? How do I do it? And he was feeling a little discouraged. This college student showed up, said he'd gotten Prabhupada's books in London when he was a student, and he was chanting 16 rounds, full Chinese student at the university in Beijing, and he was a devotee and wanted to get initiated. And his name, Chinese names in English can sound a little funny, like been too fat or who flung dung or, whatever they are, Our names sound funny in Chinese. So the name, do we have to do all this? Can we stop? Can we just stop and listen? The world will turn. Now my timing's off on my joke. So, what was the Chinese man's name? Tamal Krishnamaj is feeling discouraged. And he's wondering, will this country ever open up? And the person's name, already chanting 16 rounds, reading Prabhupada's books, his name was Hyu, Hugh Chan, C-H-N, Ting, T-I-N-G, Yu Chan Ting. Tamal said, all right, it's a sign from Krishna. So, all over the world, ISKCON devotees are doing wonderful things. So, Prabhupada gave us this example. From a sample of 1 grain, you can understand that the whole pot is cooked. You sample 1 grain, you can understand. So, I just wanted to, there are so many. And we get different reports at our annual meeting of ISKCON's governing body. I'm one of a member of ISKCON's international governing body. Prabhupada told me personally, that means if anything goes wrong, it's my fault. So you got any complaints, you can get my email address. So, but from a sampling, this is a little sampling of what's going on in the ISKCON world. Okay, it's Govardhan. Let's do our next. This is a nice screen, by the way. And we've gone all over just a few samplings. So this is Govardhan Hill in Vrindavan. Next. This is a Deva's view of Govardhan Hill. Took it with the drone. Next. So this is, now where is my laser pointer? This is our campus. I don't want to blind anybody, but you see all the way from here, this whole thing is our retreat center at Govardhan Hill. Burjan Prabhu, Sachinandana Swami, Giriraj Maharaj, they gave some money and they raised the rest of it. It's classrooms, it's retreats. This is the main hall of the retreat center. We got some closer pictures. These are all classrooms, dormitories. These are for VIP guests. Next. So this is the main hall, the entrance. This is before they put the landscaping in. So next. And this is a side view of the main hall. You can see all the classrooms, dormitories on the other side. Next. This is inside the main hall. This is when the hall is empty. Here's the stage. Here's looking off the stage at one of the programs. This is a retreat of temple presidents from all over India. They call it ICC, the Indian Continental Convention. Okay, next. This is the Prasadam Hall. Prabhupada said no function is complete without the distribution of prasadam. Prabhupada said one time, if I had not introduced prasadam, I would not have a single disciple. It's true. Prabhupada said an army runs on its stomach. I think it comes from Napoleon, actually. Okay, next. So that's one of the many, many things going. We have now started the last few years. It's called the Global Property Office. We used to think a few years ago we had about 470 temples. There's close to 1,000 temples, schools, farms, restaurants, ashrams in ISKCON. We have an office, and their job is just keeping track that the temples are properly registered all around the world. We know where they are. We know who the directors are. We know what the bylaws are. They're properly insured. It's a whole office just to keep track, and they are hard-pressed to keep up. So, Kazakhstan. How many people have been to Kazakhstan? Raise your hand if you've been to Kazakhstan. Raise your hand if you know where Kazakhstan is. Right? Oh, there's a few people who know. But here's Russia. Here's China. Where's India? India's over here. Yeah, India's here. It's Pakistan. So, it's there with all the stands. And it's a remote place on one hand. It's a Muslim country. And yet, next. This whole thing, all of this is our community. It's outside of, what is the capital of Kazakhstan? Anybody know? Almaty. We're in Mongolia. Did you know that? We have 2 temples in Mongolia. It's incredible. So this is the temple. Next. Here it is in the daytime. All of this is the temple. All of this. Now, what had happened is they had another beautiful community, and it was on the same road as the president of the country. He had a farm, and we can shut that off. There's an off button on those things.
Can everybody mute their phones? Everybody.
Just shut it off, yeah. You can turn them back on later on. The bad news will be there. Don't worry. Shut them off. Don't be a slave of the thing. So anyway, the president's brother drove out to see his brother, saw our beautiful farm, got attached to it, and they just came with bulldozers and smashed the whole thing and took it over. That was in Kazakhstan. Bibi Govinda Maharaj. Did the devotees give up? What did the devotees do? Started all over again and built this. This is the second community they built. Do you know that Prabhupada wrote the Bhagavad Gita as it is, his commentary and translation? Do you know what because there was a paper shortage in India? You know what Prabhupada wrote it on? He wrote it on the back of letterhead from the Soviet embassy. turned it over, and that's what Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. And when the whole thing was finished, it was stolen. Did Prabhupada take it as a sign from Krishna? Well, I guess he doesn't want me to do that. He sat down and started all over again. Devotees are determined. Devotees don't give up. So this is in Kazakhstan. So next, here are the gardens. These are all fruit. This is an almond tree. But they've got rose gardens, fruit trees. Next. And here's at sunset. This is the main temple building. They're trying to keep it a little low key. It's because they don't want the next relative to come and steal the place. So that's something happening in India, something happening in Kazakhstan. Next. Now this is in Myanmar. Used to be Burma. And just so you know, I mean everybody knows, but here's Burma. India's this way. China's up above. So it's 54 million people, and it's a very, very heavy Buddhist country. It's like, going to Saudi Arabia and doing Harinam past the Grand Mosque. Good luck with that. So we have to be careful. The people are super nice. I used to be part of India. So as long as we do our outreach just to the Hindu community, we're okay. They don't mind, But what about the other? I think it's only like now 5% of the population is Hindu. The rest is, they got a few Christians. So how do we reach out to the the Buddhist population? Next. Oh, I forgot to mention. It used to be part of India, and Indian merchants used to sail across the Bay of Bengal, sail up the Eriwata River. Then you can go a day or two overland, and you can hit the Yangtze River, and you can go all the way through China out to the Pacific Ocean. So it was a big trade route. And Indians, if there's a chance to make money, they're on it. They're adventuresome. So there were so many temples in Burma started by businessmen. And now, because the Indian gentlemen, businessmen, they won't give the contract to the expats or foreigners. They think they'll only give the contracts to if you're a Buddhist and you're Burmese, they'll give you the contract. So most of the Indian businessmen have left. So the temples are just abandoned, and they've got deities, no one to do the worship. They've been giving us temples. We have over 12 beautiful temples in Burma that were donated. This temple is right in Yangon, which is the business capital of the country. Used to be the old capital. And this was a Sitaram temple. And if we took over the worship of the deities, we're Vishnu, Shiva, we have a nice little Shiva temple here. There's a little temple for Buddha. They have a Buddha. Prabhupada said we can worship Buddha. Krishna's on the main altar. So, anyway, there's so many stories how this temple got started. Just to show it's not Photoshop, this is yours truly, right there. And these are the Burmese devotees for this temple. And we've got a Gurukula. It's unbelievable. So, but still, we can only reach out to the Hindu community, which is a small portion. And devotees are merciful. Patitu Pavan. They want to deliver, Mahaprabhu's mission to everyone. So how do you do it under this heavy Buddhist, next? Oh, this is a temple. This is the Jagannath temple. There's a whole story behind this. Sometime when I come back, I'll do you a whole slideshow on Burma. It's amazing. It's completely mystical. It all started from one book distributed in New York City. That's how the whole country opened up. So I'll tell you, maybe during Prasadam I can tell you. But this is a Jagannath temple built in Michikina. It's right up by China. Next. So, how to reach out beyond the Hindu community. This devotee here, Dr. Nai Ong, his name is Rashik Shekhar. and he's initiated by Vedavyas Priya Maharaj. And it's a whole story, but he got the idea that let me hold seminars. And he rents in a nice hotel, he'll rent a hall. And he advertises it, in different media, different, it's promoted by the Indian Embassy. And he teaches Bhagavad Gita. Next. I think the next one is, this is Rashik Prabhu. I told him, you've got to reach out beyond the Buddhists. And he did it. So he teaches, he's teaching Bhagavad Gita very systematically. And next, I think, is a class. And this is just one of his graduating classes. Now, if you look here, these are full-on Buddhists. They've got Burmese, there's a few Indians sprinkled in there. There's a few expats. One guy was from German embassy. He's Rasik, and his wife, who's an excellent cook. So here they are. And he does this 4 times a year. It rents a hall, and he gets 25, 30 intelligent people. Now he's gotten over 40 of them have gotten initiated into ISKCON. Full-on Buddhists. So there's even a few Muslims in there. It's an amazing thing. So Prabhupada said, there are devotees on every corner. He wrote me a letter. Said there are devotees on every corner. Just go pick them up. They're out there. They're just waiting for us. Next. So that's just a sprinkling. Kazakhstan, Burma, our retreat center. Now this is Gita Nagari. Now Gita Nagari is in western or central Pennsylvania. And it's tough. Farming is not easy. What do you need? Okay, you need the land, you need seeds, okay. But what is really essential if you want to start a farm? Don't overthink it. What do you say? You need a farmer. Don't you need a farmer? And most of us, IT, computer engineering, okay, we're on it, business, but growing, does a potato grow on a tree? So we're not really cut out for farming. So it's been a struggle. And devotees like to preach. They like to give Krishna to others. So it's a little isolated. So they struggled. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj has kept the place going. But when he was passing away, he gave it to Devamrita Maharaj. I don't know if you know Devamrita Maharaj. He's such a saintly person, So Devamrita Maharaj, he thought, what am I going to do with this place? And who's going to run it? So he brought 2 of his disciples from South Africa. The wife, Parijata, she was a top executive for FedEx International. She'd never been on a farm in her life. Her husband, Dhruva, is a nuclear engineer. He designs nuclear power plants. He said, I didn't know which end of a cow the milk came from. He said, I don't know. My wife and I, what do we know? But he said, please go save this place. And they surrender to the order of their spiritual master, and they're intelligent. You got to have by Krishna's grace. And here's what they did. Next. So I think you can click on this. This is Prabhupada in Gita Nagari. Where's the sound? Where's your sound on your TV? Stop it. Stop. Yeah, put the volume all the way up. Now start it again. Let's see if go over it and let's see if we get sound. Okay, so back it up. Go. Can you back it up?
Srila Prabhupada had been standing looking at the wonderful fields. The devotees were gathered around. There were 2 fellows who were new devotees, very enthusiastic. They were country boys from not too far away. And they had brought from their own garden a medium-sized basket full of vegetables. And Srila Prabhupada picked up an eggplant out of the basket, and he just held it in his hand as though it were a jewel of some sort. And he held it kind of up and just looked at it. It had a real value, this produce. You can just tell his pleasure was immense. So at some point he spoke about how we should be able to feed the neighboring city temples, supply them with very luscious kinds of fresh foods like this. But not only that, but in time of need, we should be prepared to also produce an abundance sufficient to feed people living in a 10-mile radius.
Prabhupada took a walking tour of the barn and the machine area, and Paramananda was a little bit apologetic because Prabhupada had been to New Talavan a few months ago and chastised them for having farm equipment. But actually they had farm equipment and was standing outside in the weather getting rusty. And at Gita Nagari we had a lot of farm equipment, but everything was very well protected. But Paramananda was very much self-conscious. So as he was showing Prabhupada the different equipment, he was saying, and this is a disc and it'll do the work of so many men, and this is plow and it'll do the work of so many men. And Prabhupada was very silent. But when Prabhupada gave his class later on that evening, he said, it's not that we hate machinery, everything can be used in Krishna's service. He also very much caught our mood that we didn't want to be in the cities. And so when Prabhupada noted that, he commented in his class, it's not that we hate the towns and villages, everything belongs to Krishna. So he saw our mentality and he cut through it very effectively.
Okay, now what? We got to go forward. There we go. So beautiful Radha Damodar. Next. So what they've done is they've hooked up with the university students. And they've turned down a little bit because I'm losing my voice. Can we turn this up just a touch? Is it possible? Because I'm losing my voice. No, if it's a big circus, don't worry about it. Okay, so university students these are from Penn State, and they've got volunteer students. Next. That's all right, don't worry, I don't want a big circus. If it's easy. The mic. Yeah, but not a big distraction. If we can just turn it up a bit, because I'm losing my voice. All right. Oh, that's big. That's a relief. Thank you very much. So this is the Devamrita Maharaj got to know this professor. This is the professor right here. And these students come out and they do volunteer work at the farm. And sometimes they'll do a summer retreat. They have to follow the principles. They go to the morning program and they're becoming devotees. And they've got, you can stay for 6 months, follow all the principles, chant 16 rounds, and you can get a certified organic gardening degree. They'll actually train you. And so they've got all these young students coming, picking up Krishna consciousness, and it's brought life to the farm. Next. So here's, you can compare Tucson in the winter and, next. But these are all, now this is Dhruva Prabhu, nuclear engineer, and this is his wife, Parijata, top exec, and they surrendered to their order, their spiritual master. Dhruva and his wife have managed to get close to $1 million in government loans, $850,000. Not getting the grants, not loans. They've put in a commercial dairy, fully licensed. You can order online from Gita Nagari. You can get paneer, you can get milk, you can get all different types of cheeses, ISKCON's party food, pizza. You can order mozzarella cheese from Gita Nagari. And it's ahimsa milk. You have to pay more because it's the real deal. It's not subsidized milk where they kill all the bulls, turn them into veal, and butcher them. But the cows are protected for life, and you can order it online, and they're getting licensed for ghee. They're not licensed for ghee. I said, man, you give us a himsa ghee, and it'll just take off. But it supports Gita Nagari, and it protects the cows. And just type in Gita Nagari, ISKCON, whatever it is, Ahimsa, and you'll get it. Okay, next. So this is just a sampling. I want to show you one other thing. We'll end on time or close to it. But Prabhupada came. I love this picture because here's Shishi Gornitai, Lord Nitya, and there's Advaitacharya, and all the way in the back, there's thousands of devotees chanting and dancing. This on this side is the logo for Sherwin-Williams paint. Now, why do I have that there? I'll tell you why. Prabhupada was in Detroit, went on his morning walk. When he came back in the car, he came around the corner about 3 blocks from the temple, looked out the window and said, this is Mahaprabhu's movement. Devotees looked. What was Prabhupada saying? There was a liquor store, there was a donut shop, and there was a city welfare office. Donut shop, prasadam distribution, what? Next day, Prabhupada comes around the corner, turns, this is Mahaprabhu's movement. So the local GBC, Jagadish, said, Prabhupada, what are you seeing? And what Prabhupada was seeing was this logo for Sherwin-Williams paint. And you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, in every town and village, my name will be known. And Prabhupada saw this, that covering the world, this is Mahaprabhu's movement. And it's actually happening. So you want to know, as I said in the beginning, where's God? Where's the mystic power of God? It's all around us if we have the eyes to see. This movement is all around the world, something wonderful. Okay, so now, Govardhan, I want to show that status. It's short. These things are only 2-3 minutes. And then I want to show the opening of the Nrsinga wing. Okay, this is not Photoshop. This is the actual Temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur. We're going to do a little before, and we're going to do current. Of course, this is the beautiful deity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Under here, under the main temple, this will be there'll be the disciplic succession, all the way back to Srila Vyasadeva, all the way to the current acharyas, the Srila Prabhupada. In the middle will be the Panchatattva deities, and on the right will be the Radha Madhava and the Ashtashakis. So that is what's under here. And on this side will be the Vedic Planetarium. There'll be an IMAX theater, 3D, and they'll take all different Vedic themes. The Bhaktivedanta Institute, the science wing of ISKCON, is already developing content to go inside that planetarium. It'll just blow people's... You'll travel through the fifth canto, all the different outer space, all the way to Vaikuntha and beyond Vaikuntha to Krishna Loka. It's just going to be amazing, and they're already developing the content. And on this side will be Lord Nrsingadev's temple. Prabhupada said he's a little fiery. He needs his own place. So they opened this year the Nrsinga wing of the temple. It's finished. They just have to finish a little bit more, and they'll move Lord Nrsinga in 2026. So next. So this is when we first purchased the land. It was nothing but rice fields, few mango groves. That's ISKCON Mayapur. Prabhupada stayed in this straw hut When he stayed in the straw hut, he brought the Utsav Radha Madhava deities, Ashtattva deities, brought them out. And that hut leaked. So they put the deities on the side that didn't leak. And Prabhupada and Tamal Krishna Maharaj stayed on the side that leaked. And they put a little partition up there, and that's where Prabhupada stayed. Tamal Krishna Maharaj told me, when they woke up after the first night, Prabhupada was already up, doing his translating. Prabhupada said to Tamal, "You snore." Tamal said, "I don't snore." Prabhupada said, "How do you know? You were asleep." Tamal said, "He's got a point, actually." But later on, he told he did snore. So that's the first building in the rice field. Now, this is the first brick construction. This is the Lotus building. The deities were on the ground floor. This is, we stayed here in 1973. It was still a construction site. We did our business in the field, and this is how Mayapur started. And Prabhupada speaks. He's speaking in Gainesville, 40,000 plus students, It's in the middle of Central Florida. You can fly there. It's near Jacksonville. You saying something? Prabhupada speaking at the University of Florida. And he says, "I'm speaking to you in this remote corner of the world, far from the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Now, you would think that this is remote. But Prabhupada sees, the way the sadhus, the sages, the rishis, the devas, they don't see, Prabhupada, when he first visited New York City, you know what Prabhupada's observation was? That the whole place smells like dog stool. He was not impressed by New York City, Okay, next. We'll wrap up in just a minute. So this is not Photoshop. This is the TOVP as it is now. So all the fundraising we've done, Ambarish, the great hero, it's happening. And this will all be displays as you go up. Hanging in that central dome, this is Prabhupada's idea, will be a chandelier that will show all the cosmos from the 5th canto of the Bhagavatam. All the 14 planetary systems, all the way past Shivadam, Brahmaloka Shivadam, all the way through the Brahmajyoti, all the way from Vaikuntha, all the way to Golokadam, Krishna Loka in the spiritual sky. People will see it visually. And that chandelier will also explain all the modern phenomena, eclipses, everything. So it will be scientifically provable. And from the 5th canto, which blows the mind, and it'll give the real dimension, the real nature of the universe, of the cosmos. It's the work of Sariputta Prabhu, and a number of devotees have actually broken it down. So next. So here's another view of the Temple of Planetarium. Next. This is Mother Ganga. Just to give you bearings, this is Prabhupada's Samadhi. Prabhupada said that the airlines will reroute their flights to fly over this. You can see why. And all of this is ISKCON. All of this. We have 600 acres. It's one of the most valuable assets in ISKCON. 640 acres. Next. So, there it is. Okay, next, because we got to... So there's a side view next. Okay, that I just... Next. So that's that's a mock-up of the chandelier. It's being made in Germany right now. But Prabhupada's whole point was that it's not mystical thinking, or it's not just, a fairy tale or folklore. The Vedas are true. The Vedas are accurate. The 5th when I was a kid, I've mentioned this before, I made a model in 5th grade of the planetary system. I think every kid who goes through science, did you make a model of the universe? You make little styrofoam balls and you paint them different colors with the sun at the center, right? Should an 11-year-old child be able to understand the entire cosmos? Does that make sense? Shouldn't it blow our mind? Here, I'll blow your mind for a second. You can Google it. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. Have you ever heard of dark matter? You heard of dark matter, right? You know why it's called dark matter? I'll tell you what dark matter is first. Mass has gravity. And that's a whole other thing, how they define gravity. Complete speculation. But mass has gravity. And different amounts of mass have different gravitational pulls. Now, without gravity, all the different planets and the different gravitational pulls, the universe, the cosmos, our planetary system, would implode on itself, or it'd spin out into infinity. So what holds the planetary system together are the different degrees of mass, different mass from the different planetary systems. The problem is there's not enough mass. Google it. 98% of the mass in the universe, to make their equations work so the thing doesn't implode on itself or spin out, they don't know where it is. It's like if I were to balance my bank account. Suppose I have a 7-Eleven, Swami's 7-Eleven, and you come in and make a $10 purchase, right? You give me $100, and I say, thank you very much. You say, Swami, where's my change? No, it's there. They're just dark dollars. You can't see it. Would you accept that? If so, I'm opening a 7-Eleven. We'll raise money for the Phoenix Temple, you know? So, I mean, nobody, no practical part. But please Google it, dark matter. It's in Wikipedia, look it up. 98, sometimes they say 92. Hey, okay, fine. They don't know where it is. And they call it dark matter because you can't see it. So they don't know what the hay is going out there. They've got the Hubble Space Telescope, and it doesn't send back photographs. You're not getting those beautiful pictures you see in National Geographic. That's not what they've gotten back. All they get back are electrical impulses. And if you read carefully, they'll have a little section that says colorized and animated. They're complete, those pictures of dark stars and red dwarfs and all that. All they've gotten back are electrical impulses. I swear to you, they'll get back beep, 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 beep. Maybe that thing went past Narada Muni playing as Veena. They don't know what's going on out there. And if they're honest, they'll admit it, you know? One of the top astrologers at MIT, Sariputta used to send me things. He said that what we know about the cosmos is like if I'm standing at a small tide pool and I'm speculating about the ocean, you know? So, but the 5th canto, it is mind-blowing because it's from Krishna. It's completely mystical. We should be scratching our head. What? Okay, next. And that we're almost done. So that's the end. There's our Mayapur. This is the, to help you get your bearings, this is the conch building, the lotus building, this is the generator and all that stuff, and this is the TOVP, and that's Mother Ganga. Okay, we're going to show one last thing. This is the opening, and then we'll be done. Thank you for sitting so patiently. This is the opening of the Nrsinga wing. While we're waiting for that, my point is this, that this is a mystical movement powered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the order of the previous acharyas. And if we work together and are Purity is the force. You will build something amazing here in Phoenix. It will be done. It's going on. You're no different than devotees all around the world. You're sincere souls. It's going to be hard work. We're going to have setbacks. Prabhupada had 3 heart attacks on the boat over here. When Prabhupada sat down in the park in New York City on a little rug all by himself, he was greeted by a New York policeman who said, "Hey, buddy, get off the grass." Prabhupada had to sit on the hot sidewalk. I mean, it's an amazing thing. And we're part of it. So you will build a beautiful temple. We have to work together. You have to dig deep. When I first came to and Premadatti Maharaj did not put me up to this. Radha Madhava, they didn't put me up to it. Because I know I've helped you, a little bit. When I first came to the temple, I was a student. And I used to keep my change in one pocket, and I used to keep my bills. I didn't have much. I was a college kid, but I would keep my bills in my pocket. And, when you'd go into the temple, there was a devotee there. His name was Dwarkadish. He was a Gurukula kid. He was couldn't have been more than 8 to 10 years old. And he had a little bowl there, and you'd give a little something. When you go into the temple, you'd get, something on Sunday. I come on Sundays. And I used to give my change. Now, in my defense, it was about $5, which wasn't, 1969 inflation rate. It wasn't completely cheap, but I give my change and I keep my bills. 1 time, 2 times, 3rd time, Dwarkadish tapped my pocket with my bills, and he said, "Krishna doesn't see what you give. He sees what you keep." I was so embarrassed. And he caught me. He figured out my system. He's a 10-year-old boy, and he'd figured out my system, and in a very polite way, he'd called me a tightwad, a cheapie. And I thought, these people are far out. I was very impressed, So, it'll take hard work, but it'll be something wonderful that will stand for generations. We're long gone. People can't remember our name. And our name will be on a plaque. We helped build this temple. It is something wonderful. And it's proven around the world it'll happen. Okay, the last clip, it's only 3 minutes. And wait. Now, before we start this, we need the sound all the way up on this. So now, is it up all the way? Okay, fantastic. And I'm sorry to harass you. That you're our host. I'm assuming you're the host, and you're trying to help us out. But people are so easily distracted in Kali Yuga, so I want to keep them focused. I'm insignificant, but the message matters. It actually matters. Okay, go ahead, Govardhan. Where's the picture? No picture. Nothing showing. You know what to do? Help him out. It wouldn't be bona fide if there wasn't at least one glitch. It gives rise to great prayer. Everyone's got to pray, and then, all right, Krishna, thank you. So what's up? Because they're waiting for prasadam. No, it's true.
Can you see the... Yes. Okay.
But we don't see the...
Yeah, we'll just... is it highlighted?
No, show him which one it is, Govardhan.
I can click enter, right? It will...
Govardhan, does he know which one to click on?
We can't see it on this.
Oh, it says Nishringa. Oh, that sucks.
Video file is highlighted. Yes.
Okay, now we're set. Now make it full screen. Make it full screen. Hey, stop. Make it full. Oh, you can't see. Okay. Make it full screen. Lord Nishringa wants us to pray, not take him cheaply. Now what's up? Oh, Krishna. We're going backwards. If we don't get it in a minute, we'll skip it. But I think you'll find it enlivening. Do we knock a wire out? Because it's a nice screen. It's a good-sized screen. Oh, is it? If it's too complicated, then we'll forget it. Now we know what's going on. The kids are all hoping it's Netflix. So tell me this, is it a whole trip with wires? No, so let's serve prasadam. We can take prasadam, and what we'll do, where do you take prasad? Here? Outside. What is your ETA? Coming moment? No, I mean seriously. Prabhu's, hey, focus. Look at me. Prabhu, do we know what's wrong? All right, wait, answer my question.
Yes.
We know what's wrong.
Yes.
Have we fixed it?
Yes.
Okay. No, because I don't want to make you guys wait. I mean, weird things happen. You can count on it. I'm a walking... Hold on. I thought... Yeah. Well said. You spoke for all of us. I don't want to share anything. I want this to work. We don't know what's going on. Well, we'll see. Okay, now make it full screen. Okay, fantastic. All glories to the Lord Nrsingadev. Thank you.
Thank you all so very much for supporting this project and delivering this dream to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada.
Lord Nrsingadev is coming. Lord Nrsingadev is coming. And Lord Nrsingadev is coming. Garjantam garjayantam nijabhujapatalam shopahyantam hadantam dipyantam tapayantam divi bhuviditam shepayantam shipantam krandantam roshayantam dishi dishi sadatam samharantam barantam vikshantam purnayantam karanikara sathair divya simham namami. This is Lord Nrsingadev. He will be roaring today when we open this wing, protecting all of us so that the Sankirtan movement can be spread in every town and village.
And we are once again so very grateful that you come, not only supported us through everything, but come to celebrate this wonderful moment in history. So thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vaishnava ki jai.
So this is a sample of what's going on in the ISKCON world. Something wonderful. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Prashadam, right? Yeah.
Thank you to His Holiness
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
for coming to Phoenix and
Don't say much.
Hare Krishna. So Maharaj, thank you so much for coming and giving us your association. We hope you'll come again soon and over a weekend if possible and longer time. And I'd also like to thank today's hosts, Sri Manmohan, Jagannath Prabhu and Madhumayi Shri Lakshmi Mataji, wherever she is. Thank you so much for hosting today's program. I know it was a short notice, and thank you all for coming, because without you we cannot have the program. So give yourselves a big round of applause as well. Thank you so much. Maharaj was here for a short visit, but we learnt a lot. Please come again. Thank you so much. Hare
Can't
Krishna.
stay away. Hare Krishna.
Short. So we'll recite the Prasadam prayers and Oh yes, Damodar Ashtakam. Kartik. So we are going to go ahead and recite the Damodar Ashtakam and offer the lamps. And as soon as that's done, we'll just do it in orderly fashion. Just form one line and come out, and we'll just go ahead and start serving Prasadam also. Because I know it's working day and school day tomorrow. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
परं दृष्टमात्यन्तातो धृत्य गोप्या रुदन्ता मुहुर्नेत्रं युग्मं मृजन्तम् करं भुजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पत्रिरेखान्तकण्ठा स्थिता ग्रीवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमाजन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषितग्नेषु भक्तिर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेम तस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवा मोक्षं न मोक्षं वदिं वा न चैनं वृणेऽहं भरिष्यदपिह इदं ते वपुरनाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्याविरष्टं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखं भुजम् अत्यन्तनीले वृतं कुण्ठलैः स्निग्ध रक्तश्च गोप्या इदं ते मुहुशुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्य विरष्टं मालं लक्षलाभे वितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे नमो देवा दामोदरानन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजालविमग्नम् कृपा दृष्टि वृष्ट्याति दिनं बतानुग्रह निशमम् अज्ञं मे द्याक्षि दृश्यः कुबेरात्मजो बधा मूर्तिर्वयद्वा त्वया मोचितो भक्तिभाजो कृतो च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्य प्रयक्ष न मोक्षे ग्रहो मे सीधा मुदरेहा नमस्तेस्तु दाम्ने स्तुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोधरायाथ विश्वस्वदाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वदीया प्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jaya Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara, Yashoda Damodara, Shri Radhe.
राधा माधवरी
Jaya Radha Madhavari, Radha Madhavari, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Devi Subhadra. Jaya Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Radha Damodara Ki Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.